He's going to have a pretty much easy passive laning phase until he gets the Calamity Reaper. Meanwhile, bottom lane, you're going to have a bit more exciting fight between the Paquito and the Esmeralda, both pretty much considered melee. What do you think about this matchup in mid though?
Right now you could see that like JPL is just shadowing him, right? Knowing that they just need to get the lane priority so they can get something done in the jungle. When it comes to clears, I feel like Bruno and Granger are about the same. They're no Yi Shin, right? When it comes to speed and flash farming, so they need to ensure that their jungle is safe and then look for the first rotation with first turtle.
Was just trying to luck a bit as X going to the tower's revenge, trying to go for the jump. Oh, they burned the flicker really early into the game, but it looks like neither of these teams really wanted to commit to the fight. JPL taking a bit too many shots there. The flame shot comes out from A1, A2, but falls just a little bit short at getting the first blood.
Soul rotates up early. He's just going to hit level 4 here, so he has the knockout punch. If Azura X is not careful, A1, A2, he might just get caught. Oh, look at the damage! And that is first blood for Soul. They're chasing onto a little bit more. Oh dear, Bambi, he's in a lot of trouble. Does not have the dash. It's a double for Soul, the returning veteran. Evos SG strike first.
Not only does this gain so much momentum for Evos, but the fact that Kingsmen did not get anything in return means that now Evos can look to secure the turtle for themselves.
Love the rotation from Soul. So smart, understanding that I don't need level 4 to walk up. I can get level 3 and 3/4, hit the mid lane, pick up the EXP, and then make a play for my team because I have the first mover's advantage. Turtle, like you said, will be picked up by Evos SG. Now they have the control, now they have the 600 gold lead. Initiative is again in their pockets. They can make the play here as JPL runs in. Looks for the slow, will only find Azura.
I was talking about Soul on this Paquito just a minute ago. Both him and Esmeralda were level 4. But look at the difference right now. Soul already about to hit that level 6. Oh dear, Baby coming to the bottom, trying to pick up a kill on that Paquito. Might just be enough. Goes for the double knockout. Doesn't land onto the Esmeralda and eventually will fall to Oh dear, Baby. A little bit of a small chip there, but look at the top lane.
Good counterplay across the map. Easy pickup for Evos SG. They send 3 members to ensure they get the cross-map kill. Now, the pressure is on. Azura X needs to be careful here. JPL is running him down. They don't really have the control, even though JPL does have the Wrath of Dryad. He's using the bouncing ball. Azura X cannot be controlled. He's going to be walking away. Good timing on the rotation. 4 members strong. Top side. Top tier 1, not long for this world if Evos have their way with it.
I'm pretty sure that Kingsmen know they can't defend the tier 1, and this is the good thing about Kingsmen. They're still a very experienced side, but Soul now in a little bit of trouble once again. He's not having a good mid-game. Kingsmen, they kind of identify him as a threat. Every single time he pops up in lane, they're looking to bring him down.
Thinking about this though, if the pressure is on Soul, that frees up Potato to make a lot of plays across the map. Pokemon as well is starting to scale up. That Meteor Shower is actually going to hurt when second turtle comes up. Well, look at the items as they appear, but Evos losing the tank is not the worst thing in the world. Kingsmen, at least they find some reprieve. They get consolation prizes across the map, and that's good for them to allow Bambi to get up and activate it too.
Yep, the first power spike coming in for Pokemon, picking up his Ice Cream 1. I'm pretty sure the Necklace of Durance is going to be the next one, thinking,
for sure.
Yeah, you have an Esmeralda, you have a Kagura, you have a Harith, without a doubt, and NOD is a must.
And similar to the side of Kingsmen, you probably do need the NOD against the Estes, so it's going to be a staple item for both teams here as the gold lead hasn't really grown. Kingsmen, they're still holding strong tempo-wise. They're looking to rotate down to the bot lane. Look at Pokemon. Multiple members on the Kingsman side possibly wanting to dive him, but Evos recognize this. They make the rotation down, make sure that Chang'e is safe.
While they're committing to this bottom turtle part, look at Paquito. It's already pushed up to the tier 2. He's going to rejoin onto the fight. Can Chu bring enough damage? And here comes the Meteor Shower just to clear away the bottom wave. But this means that no Meteor Shower for the next 30 seconds. Kagura, Yin Yang overturn, comes into the side. They catch JPL. Is it enough? No. Oh dear, Baby coming in for the backside of the Death Sonata will bring down the first kill. Azura X going to trade his life for it. And now Moon coming in. Oh, it's not enough. So with the double knockout, instantly brings the Harith down. And now Evos. Oh, what a fight.
2 for 1 actually. Insane flank coming from Soul. The macro play there for Evos, I'm not sure if you realized, they understood, okay, we just need to push top tier 1 out and then use the Meteor Shower to buy time. We don't have to commit to the fight with Meteor Shower. As long as Soul is able to get a flank, the damage is there. It's equal to Meteor Shower. So the map play now extends their goal lead to 1.5. They probably pick up more here. Azura X has to be careful jumping in from Soul. He's looking for the knockup, uses the bouncing ball to get away. Chu is sitting on the backline, has the falling star moon, but no, it's too late. The turtle has been picked up by Evos SG. They act fast, they step their fingers, and now they're moving towards the bot side too. Chu has to be careful here, has the ultimate to get away, but probably doesn't want to overstay.
Yeah, I love that rotation coming at Evos, immediately winning the fight and recognizing they were all too low, but now Chu, like you said, overstaying his welcome, instantly gets taken out. Not only will they get this tier 1, they might even catch Odia Bambi out of position, but immediately Azura X come to the bot side. But what's happened at the top? Harif as well as Kagura did manage to pick out the Paquito once again.
Excuse the pun, but this is like a boxing match, right? A 1-for-1 trade, bot side, top side, both teams are just trading equally, and this is what you love to see from these high-tier teams. If you take my bot side, I'm just going to pressure top. We're always going to be trading resources. And at this point, what happens is both teams are artificially pushed forward in terms of economy. A lot of the carries pick up a lot of gold from the structures as well as kills. So we're accelerating the mid-game. We're accelerating things like, it's 6 minutes on the clock, 6.5. But in effect, it feels more like, 8 minutes in terms of items.
Now we're going to see Evos actually just apply a slightly more pressure across the map. They managed to take the tier 2 on the bottom side. That's going to unlock the red buff jungle on the side of Kingsmen's side. We might just see a very huge team fight happening in front of our eyes.
1A2 getting bursted down. He has to get out, but JPL, he's the one in trouble. He needs help, but he needs it now. Here comes the Estes. He's still falling very low. Meanwhile, the backline, they immediately destroy A1, A2. Now Evos grouping up. This is what they do so well. A 5-man death ball. Potatoes charging in. He throws out the flaming football. That's all it's going to be for Evos. They get the pick, they get out, and now they're looking for the map plays.
If that was a tighter choke point, the around the world coming off of Bruno would have done so much more damage. But Kingsmen, immediately recognizing the fact that they were caught out of position, A1, A2, first where they go down, they don't take the fight, but they leave to see another day, right? You don't necessarily always have to commit to a fight every single time one of your members gets caught out.
I clenched a little bit when A1, A2 walked up. He throws the umbrella out. It's like, okay, I'm going to scout this. I know there's probably going to be someone here. There's no way he overextends for the tier 2 by himself. Bottom side of the map, Soul is drawing pressure away from Kingsmen. He's able to get out and allow his team to come in for the reinforcements. JPL is looking for it. He actually gets the stun onto the Azura X, and they might be able to finish him off, especially with the Meteor Shower. Another turtle going the way of Evos SG. JPL with the snap plays, flickers in. Rafa Dryad locks him in place for the team to get the kill.
We talked about the small windows of Spike, and this is where Pokemon and Soul look so dangerous. Even after dying 3 times, Soul has the items and the momentum needed to just burst someone down instantly. And that puts Kingsmen in a lot of fear because they can't afford to lose someone like Odia Bambi or even A1, A2 to just face check in the bush. And this is, the small little kind of, I would say, deficits when you have a tank out of the picture.
So look at Kingsmen's draft, right? They don't have a lot of burst damage apart from like Death Sonata. Or even Lun also, like with Zaman Force, he has to jump in and out. He's gradually chipping people away. The Estes solves so much of that problem. As JPL, he's going to get walked out upon by Azura X. He immediately throws out the ball. He says, I don't want to stick around. Evos SG, they're pushing out for mid priority. The Lord is going to be spawning in 75 seconds. They want to control the map first. This team is actually really good at doing that, right? I've been watching Evos so much. They understand, hey, the side wave is frozen at a neutral position. Someone go and farm it, someone go and push it out because in 30 seconds, Kingsman is going to be forced to reply to that wave. That gives us a window to walk into the jungle and make a pick.
That was exactly what happened when we saw Lun forced to go to the top lane to defend that tier 2 turret, and they already lost Azura X in that process as well. So it essentially turns it into a 4v2 situation. And this is what Evos is just so good at manipulating these waves.
True though, he reads the play well. He's like, if one person is going to go top, I'm going to split the map and play bot. Issue here is Evos SG still have bot tier 2 up, so that is going to allow them to push the wave back. Granted, you lose the gold and EXP there, but it's not a lot of pressure, right? Soul can just immediately respond and shove it out again. Less than 30 seconds on the clock for Turtle. Kingsmen, they need to control the top half of their jungle. This triangle is super important because if they walk in and they get caught, if they don't have vision, they instantly die. You can see JPL is just threatening because he has the Wrath of Dryad. He has the Flicker too. If they walk into a choke, he engages, Evos fights. Engage though coming in from Kingsmen. They're looking for Girl, they're looking for JPL, but JPL, he has the Flicker, he has the ultimate. Kingsmen immediately disengage. They know that their choke is too dangerous. You don't want to fight into that crowd control from the Belric.
Excellent bait coming off of Gur as well, sending the Estes forward, but knowing that he has to Purify, dodges the Tyrant's Revenge. So they burned so much on trying to kill this Estes, but they got nothing out of it. Really smart play coming from Evos SG.
That's a big ultimate down. They don't have that for this next Lord contest. And even Girl without his ultimate is like fine, because your teammates, like we said, are tanky enough. There's no burst on Kingsman's side. You can probably keep them healed up and immediately Girl's out. As I say that, comes back up. Azura X still have a couple of moments more before that's available. Evos aren't pressing the matter. They're controlling the waves. They're keeping control of this top half of the jungle where Potato starting their Lord. Now is going to drag it towards the Evos SG side.
I was just looking around, trying to see if any Kingsmen members will come knocking on the door.
X is actually the one that's going to be walking in and scouting this fight out. They jump in though. Evos SG, they have to be very careful. Look at the damage. Girl is falling very low, but X is going down too. The meteor shower immediately decimates them as Girl dies, but Potato, he's able to get the revenge for his team. Lord is very low. It's probably going to reset here as Evos SG chase down. They're looking for, oh dear, Bambi, and oh dear, he's down. The Lord has been reset, but Evos SG, they know that 3 members of Kingsmen are out. This is a free objective for Evos SG.
I love how Evos SG just tore Kingsmen into 2. They split up Kagura as well as Shu down onto the bottom half of the Lord's Pit. You had Odia Baby caught on the top side. We're going to see that immediately on instant replay.
Justin.
Yeah, look at this. You got Loon trying to jump in with the Kagura, right? But there's absolutely no way for A1, A2 to jump into the midst of it. Chu's caught off to the bottom. You got Odia Baby isolated on the top side. They've got no damage whatsoever to sustain through this fight because of the Moonwell's blessing. They only pick up Go, and other than that, they can't even fight into the Lord's Pit just because Evos is so tight-knitted. And that's why the Ballarat is such a good fit.
One big thing we saw too was Pokemon was playing Artillery Mage. He's like outside of the fight, throwing Meteor Shower. He's like, okay guys, just sit within this choke, this line of fire. If they fight you, they definitely lose. And Evos SG, they play around these team fights so well. Kingsmen now, they are down 6k, but they are no means out of this game. Moving up, looking for the orange buff. They have to give this one over as the Falling Star Moon catches Soul out, but there's no follow-up. Shoes out will be down for a while. At least they get the orange buff for Odia Bambi. Meanwhile, Mirrored on the other side, JPL is like hiding there too. They're taking their turns to play hide and seek on this map. Lord is going to be pushing up the top side. The inhibitor is the target for Evos SG. Chu leading the charge. Remember, he has his Falling Star Moon up right now as the Meteor Shower immediately forces them away to get the inhibitor. Can they get any more? Is the question for Evos SG now. They will sacrifice the Lord as it pushes in and turn their attention towards the mid inhibitor. Look at the jump coming in from Soul. Look at the damage. And immediately dead is Loon. And oh my goodness, Kingsmen. They don't know what hit him. Now jumping back in, Azura X immediately flees the fight. He's made a horrible decision and messed up. And now Kingsmen, they have to round to the fountain. Another Meteor Shower coming out. Evos SG, this could be game, Justin.
Yeah, it might just be game here in a 4v3 or rather 5v3 situation. They're forcing their way through and there's absolutely no way that Kingsmen can defend this. And looks like Evos SG is going to pick up the first game of this best of 3 series.
You saw the confidence, the happiness on the side of Evos SG. They know it was a hard fight. Immediately after they win the game, Soul and Potato are like clapping. I think it's JPL actually. Soul and JPL are like clapping. They're happy because they know that they secured at least one portion of this. Another game puts them in the grand finals. Even if they drop that game, they still have a final game to come back into this. And head-to-head, Kingsmen are up, you know, they were up 2-1 in the regular season. This puts it to 2-2.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm not sure if you've realized, Hungry, but that was such an insane team fight. Not only because did they manage to get a clean fight off, 5v5, but just before that major fight happened, Chang'e managed to pick up a Magic Glaive as well as Soul managed to pick up the Bloodlust X. That is 2 huge items. And we saw that was what gave Paquito a bulk of his damage when he went in for the final blow. And this is where we saw, look at that, Soul completing his 4th major item before that team fight. Pokemon picking up pretty much his last item on that Magic Glaive. Yes, you still have one more, but you have a 4-item Chang'e. That's pretty much as hard as you can get, as much of a spike as you can get as a mage. And then Go also managed to pick up the Athena Shoe, and I think Ballarat managed to pick up the Antique Cuirass. That's 4 huge items.
When Loon jumped in the final fight and Soul picked up everything, right? It's like that TikTok meme where you heard like, the, oh no, and then like Loon immediately jumps out with Zaman Force because he knows it's a horrible mistake, but he gets blown up by Evos SG. That's such a smart move.
You can definitely see a lot of pressure across the map. Evos actually just splitting up the farm quite a bit, damage dealt across the board. Everyone nearly hitting the 20% mark other than JPL.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Like to me, I think that is a good indication of how well Evos actually is playing as a game. They know that every single one of their members can deal out a decent amount of damage. Even for Girl playing on this Estus, 18% damage, not too bad.
When I was looking at the stats, JPL has one of like the biggest hero pools. It's not the largest, but consistently 8, 9, 10 heroes in the regular season. Most of them with positive win rates. That is a big statement, right? You could pull out like, a cheese pick, but if it doesn't work, it drops your win rate. That's hardly anything to prove. JPL has been pulling out new picks, novel picks, and making them work for his team. Let's take a look at the post-match analytics right now. As you can see, the rich guy is going to be Potato with 10,000 goals, Soul with the most kills. Forget the marksman, right? If you're playing Paquito, just run in and get those kills. JPL tanking up the most damage and Girl with the most assists. Everyone on Evos SG, taking some of the weight off of their teammates.
Yeah, but you gotta give some credit to Kingsmen. They were doing pretty decently, picking off Seoul in the off lanes. It's not all doom and gloom. It's just that Evos SG had a better pacing into the game, which is something that other teams lacked when they pick up Asters, right? If you look at the playoffs, we have a lot of Asters games,
Yeah.
but very negative win rate. Evos SG is one of the first few teams to come in, pick up the Asters, but what clicked for them was because of the rotation and the fact that they pick up Belleric. Other teams did not pick up a hard tank that could sit in the fight and benefit off the Moonwell blessing. But with Belleric coming into the picture, Evos SG knows that my Belleric can not only soak up the damage, but with the support of this Asters, he can just sit there whole day and we still have hard-hitting heroes on the back, just like Chang'e, just like Bruno, to support this team fight.
I love that the Belleric also brings a degree of control, because if they try to chase and burst him down, Estes is there with the Moonwell blessing, like you said, to heal him up, and then the Wrath of Dryad is like, boom, you guys are all stunned in this area, so it's tough, right? Kingsman, not out of this one yet. If you know Odio Bambi, you know that whenever push comes to shove, whenever his back is against the wall, that's when he plays a lot better. He digs deep, he comes back in and charges forward with his team.
Well, let's take a look at who's going to be the MVP for this matchup against Evos SG and Kingsmen. And nevertheless, it's going to be Potato. Well, I had a little bit more difference in who I thought the MVP would be, but
it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep it there. I honestly felt that Go deserve the MVP. They're playing on this Asters, doing really well. Yes, we have JPL coming in as, the Belleric, but, that small micro play there that we saw coming in with the Purify bait into the Tyrant's Revenge, that was just an example of why I thought he was MVP. But I'm still going to give Potato the credit. 2 kills, 8 assists.
Very, very solid stuff, right? It was tough to play into that composition.
Yes,
2-0-8. One thing that we have to know about Potato, in terms of statistics, across all the hypers, all the marksmen, he's the only one that consistently outputs the most damage while taking the least damage.
Yes.
So he's extremely efficient, right? He's never in the wrong position, ever. He plays like a traditional marksman. Now, to some fault, he has a small traditional marksman hero pool.
Yes.
But on some bonus, he's actually really good when it comes to team fighting.
Yeah. And I would say the hard thing about fighting against Potato is that if you focus too much on taking away zeros, you open so much more choices to the rest of the team, right? We spoke about Seoul having a very huge fighter pool as well. We saw Go, he's not the worst support out there. He has a very decent support pool that's available to him. He can play Asters, Rafaela, we've seen him play. I don't think we saw Angela being played as well, but those are those options to Evos SG if the opponent chooses to take a hard stand on batting away the heroes that Potato can play.
We'll have to see how Kingsman makes the adaptation.